in a government yard in Trenchtown, observing the hypocrites as they would, mingling with the good people we meet. Oh, good friends we have here, and good friends we now lost along the way. Well, in this great future, you can forget your past. So dry your tears, I say, and the time. No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Dear my little darling, don't shed no tears. I know woman, no cry. I said, I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown, and then Georgie could make a firelight, as it were, love would burning through the night, and love would cook on me porridge like a minute, of which I'll share it with you. My feet is my only carriage, so I've got to push on through. So while I'm gone, baby, everything is gonna be alright. 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 Everything is gonna be alright now. Everything is gonna be alright. No woman, no cry. I know woman, no cry. I dear little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry. Judgment don't lift guitar, Rastafari. I said no woman, no woman, no woman, no cry. I know woman, no cry. I said that's all my little darling. I'm singing don't shed no tear. I know woman, no cry. Little sister, don't shed no tear. I know woman, no cry. A little darling, don't shed no tear. No woman, no cry.
Hello, Prapol. Okay. So Ofa Osha aye kwa MAdisha what thing. Okay, Prapol.
Yeah, man, I feel the love.
Hello, Prapol. All right. Done.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for giving anti-random groups a chance to be here. We anti-random groups on the way of our respect. We love you. This one is the last one.
Tabo, do you want to work with Cope again? Please. Hello, Prapol. No, nothing. It's very quiet. No, not at all. Yes? Yeah, I know. I'm not getting Joburg, guys, still. Yeah, but they're asking for a better background. Prapol, yeah. Say the people who are standing there asking for a better background. So these people are looking odd. We can do that, or we can just turn around. Hello? I can, Prapol, I can. Nothing from the studio. Yes.
No, I wish I could play like that little girl.
Why'd you move? Are you going to the presenter first?
Promise to make it really, really brutal.
Okay, that helps. Bra, anything? Yo, hey, it's hectic, man. Fuck.
Super glue, yeah.
I think so today.
Allow me to hand over to the national chairperson.
Taman, thank you.
Viva con viva! And hula con by hula! And hula con by hula! And chairperson, the president, the deputy president,
I can.
the leadership
I can.
of COPE,
I can.
the membership of COPE, you are all welcome to the Free State. And Abuhela. We are here today to tell the people of South Africa that COPE is alive and is prepared to govern this country. We are
Thank you.
here to
All right.
tell those who doubted us that we are alive and prepared to provide South Africa with a better government. We are here to tell South Africans that no amount of banning of buildings, banning of clinics, marches will ever change government. Your vote can bring a better government. Comrades, let me take this opportunity to ask the Reverend Chaplain to open this gathering with the word of God.
Thank you, Elvis, for coming to you live, of course, from a very packed Bloemfontein showgrounds. Yeah, of course, this is where the Congress of the People will be launching their manifesto. This is, of course, the last political party to launch the manifesto before the general elections on May 7. At any minute now, Ndate Musiwa Likota will take to the podium and address the constituencies. But before he does that, let's give you just a brief overview of the party. It was formed in 2008 amidst excitement and fanfare, and it was viewed by others, of course, as a necessity that was created by support for the former president of the ANC, Thabo Mbeki. You remember at that time that Mbeki had just been recalled by his own party, the ANC, from being the president of the country. COPE in 1999, or rather in 2009, during the 2009 general elections, the Congress of the People won 30 seats in parliament. And after that, though, it was a downhill because they had a whole lot of wrangles, battles between the co-founders, Musiwa Lekota and Mbazima Shilowa. And they've been trying to gain the support ever since then, and credibility, of course. And now we are speaking to Lindel Shobemafole, of the General Secretary of the Congress of the People. Thank you so much for joining us today. COPE has shed many supporters. In fact, you lost the momentum because of the long-running battles between Ndate Musiwa Lekota and Ndate Mbazima Shilowa. You still concerned about the support that you've lost?
Well, thank you very much for the question. Let me clarify to South Africans that it was not a fight between Ndate Lekota and Mbazima Shilowa. It was, even the court case is called Shilowa and others versus the Congress of the People. Of course, we are concerned that there were many people who, because they could not understand what was going on, were very disappointed. There were many South Africans, members of the Congress of the People, others just ordinary South Africans. But I think now, after Judge Wat Pringle clearly stated that the coup that Likota and President Musiwa Likota is leading and has led and continues to lead, which is recognized by the IEC and by Parliament, is the Congress of the People that is correct, and that he is the President of the Congress of the People.
In 2008, we saw multicolors in terms of the constituency of COPE. When you look around now, it's mainly the one section of the South African population. Any concerns regarding that? Because you were almost the beacon of how South Africa looks.
Well, you know, at the first Congress of our first National Congress, President Musiwa Likota said that we wanted to earn to be the true followers and people who are continuing the legacy of Tata Mandela, particularly in this area of a united, a unified South Africa. It is true that in 2008 and 2009 we were more diverse, but perhaps today it's only a reflective of the environment in which we are, that most of the people that are here, I think if we were to hold something like this, of course, you know, other races are not rally people, even some black people are not rally people, but if we were in an environment where for example, we have quite a sizable Indian community and the white community, it's not as much as before, but I think that after today, things are going to change, because many South Africans, because we are visiting them in their homes and they're able to see for themselves, they will be able to come back and join us. Mainly because there isn't another credible alternative in South Africa if you look around. We are absolutely convinced of that, and all of these people that are here are telling South Africans, please look at us again and listen to our side of the story.
You're saying there's no other credible alternative in South Africa, yet you want to be part of a coalition. You are in fact part of a coalition, which would lend credence to the fact that you are concerned that you will not win as many seats as you won in 2009, for instance, which was 30 seats.
Well, I don't think the one is exclusive to the other. I still do think, and I believe, and I'm sure even the ruling party believes, that this is the credible alternative. But that does not mean that you don't work with other South Africans. There are other South Africans who do not want to be part of the Congress of the People, who would like to be, for example, they would like to be united along, you know, a Christian party. In Europe, you have environmental party, you know, green parties and so on. We believe that that is important. Actually, for us, working with other South Africans is not because we are afraid of not being in, that we will not win. It's not because of that. We think we can win faster, but we also believe that, again, that legacy of working with other South Africans who are not necessarily within your own political party. It is a trend, you know, all over. You know, in the UK, they've got a coalition. In Kenya, they've got coalitions. It's the way of the future, because people don't all think the same way. You know, people have different things. But what brings us together, even with the other members of the Cooperative for Democracy, is that Collective for Democracy, is that we are concerned about the future of our children, the future of these young people. We want to make sure that we can make South Africa the best that it can be, and there are things that we agree upon. And any South African who agrees with us on those matters, we must work together to go forward.
Memafulo, just one last thing. How are you planning, or in fact, have you tried to reach out to the other faction, or rather the one that was led by Mbazima Shilowa, who has since left? Have you tried to coax them and be part of the new COPE, if you like?
Not really. Any South African who is a registered voter in South Africa can apply to be a member of the Congress of the People. We do not bring people in groups. Even people who've joined us from other political parties, Vanessa Hani from Ahang and all that, they came as individuals, and then other people come with them as individuals. However, we are saying that hopefully, because from what we see, they are part of the opposition, hopefully we will be able to work together if we together agree on the fact that we don't want corruption in South Africa, we want good education in South Africa, we want good health. On all of those things, if they agree, they can be part and parcel of this thing. I think what is important is that South Africans should find the best way in which they can contribute to a better South Africa, whatever the political party or civic organization that they would like to find themselves in. We welcome that.
Thank you very much for joining us. Lindel Shobe Mafule talking to us here earlier on about what is expected and also what has happened in the background in terms of COPE. to the packed Bloemfontein showgrounds. A number of the Congress of the People supporters are still streaming in. They've been doing so since this morning at 8 a.m. It's all yellow here, of course. You remember that the party started off with some fanfare back in 2008, but after a couple of years, the momentum, the support was lost because of the long-running battles between the co-founders, Musiwa Lekota and Mbazima Shilowa. The party has been trying to gain some credibility and, of course, support since then. We do know that in a few minutes, that Musiwa Lekota will be taking to the podium to address the supporters here. He was, of course, elected unopposed in January as the leader of COPE in Boksburg, Ekurhuleni in January. Let's take it back to the studio just for now.
My job today is to remind that the future of South Africa, it is in the hands of young people. South Africa does indeed deserve a better government, and your vote for COPE will provide a government dedicated to an entrepreneurial-driven economy that will enable young people to become job creators instead of job seekers. A government that will invest in the programs that will assist young professionals in their growth in their various professions. A government that is dedicated to eliminating teenage pregnancy across the country. A government that is committed to developing young women, to enable them to claim their spot in the economy and in the leadership landscape of this country. Be the change that you want to be. Vote Congress of the People. Amandla!
Billy, Congress of the People, Billy! Dumelang! It is a great pleasure on behalf of Congress Women's Movement to support our 2014 Manifesto. The role of women in the Congress of the People is well established. Our great role models, such as Mbeki Manjobe and many more women of truth in our organization. Our manifesto is of intergenerational significance. We understand that young women and old women, both rural and urban areas, women at home, professional women in offices, all need and deserve a better government. Comrade, Program Director, in conclusion, I want to commit that Congress Women's Movement are going to work hard, smart in 2014 elections so that South Africans can get a better government. I want to also steal this moment, Comrade Director, to acknowledge our mother, Mama Manjobe, for her contribution as she is about to retire. Mama has been a member of Parliament since 1994. Although a respected elder amongst all of us, she continues to perform her duties with competence and diligence. Her wisdom is deep-seated and highly regarded. Mama, you have been a great inspiration to all of us. The values you upheld and the integrity you have shown us must be carried forward to ensure that South Africa deserves a better government. Mama, we have a token, but Mama is far, comrade, that Congress Women's Movement has said we must give it to Mama. I want to at least to show Mama wherever he's seated that there it is. Congress Women's Movement wanted to give Mama as a it is a pity that the time at my disposal is limited. I thank you.
Amandla! Amandla! Comrades, on behalf of student movement, the Congress movement responsibility does not end with the student classes. We encourage our members to acknowledge and take on their responsibility of making sure that they keep up with the current affairs of the country and the world. We are the students that have made a patriotic decision to the change that we want to happen in this country. That is why we associate ourselves with the Congress of the People, the only alternative party, and that to drive our own interest from the change and the hope that we want as young people. The founding principles, norms, and values speaks directly to the young generation like me. We are tired of seeing our resources being used and advancing the interests of the Senate Card Party. We believe that corruption has no place in COPE. Comrades, after 20 years of democracy, the South African economy is still in its worst. Unemployment is about 769,000 graduates that are unemployed in this South Africa. We are tired of that, comrades, and that's why we believe that by seconding the Congress of the People and voting for COPE, our vote are not a secret, comrades. We are going to vote for Congress of the People, and then we are making sure that it goes and governs this country. I thank you.
Viva COPE, viva! I'm Dr. Mark Manley. I represent business and professionals. Today is a historic day because we stand on the edge of making history. Following on from what the Reverend Sharpley said, we have been liberated from the slavery, but we are in the wilderness. It will not be 40 years in the wilderness. On the 7th of May, we can have a new government. On the 7th of May, we can have a new government. Yes. So I greet you in the name of democracy, and I greet you in the name of freedom. South Africa can be one of the great nations of the world, but we are being held back by people that think that their greatness is more important than the country's greatness. They need to be out of government. COPE will empower business to grow the economy and to create jobs. COPE will encourage and empower the professionals to equip and serve the people and the nation. We need service to the nation from the professionals. Things are falling apart. And
we're coming to you live from the Bloemfontein Showgrounds. Thousands of COPE supporters have converged here. Of course, they converged here from very early this morning. Many of them traveled from all provinces all night by bus, and we chat to some of them about the party. First, we talk to Manifesto osuka eWestern Cape. Manifesto, abantu abaninzi bathi le party yakho iphelile, ifile, kwaqala kumnandi qala kodwa ngoku nokho izinto azisalungi.
Hayi ayifanga sisi iphathi yethu into kunayo baqhaya ayifana ubulawa ngohlohle sakhe becimba fana bayizawuphela iphathi yethu eziba nawe ibona iba ingaka sibangaka and sijonge forward and we've got all the sad stories to tell thina apha napha eWestern Cape. We've got all the sad abantu bayareyithwa omama abantwana kuyaqhekezwa ezindlini abantu bayabulawa kodwa urhulumente wethu imali yilena adlala ngayo abantu bahlele ematyotyombeni abantu abanazo ii-toilets siyahlupheka sinje imfundo yethu isakekele kusekho izikolo zingafumani nee-textbook lonke lo xesha bazawuthi uCOPE ufile yiyo ke loo nto esithi sifile sizama uphakamisa umgangatho kwindawo esihleli kuzo mna kwindawo endihlala kuyo ndilwa i-crime ndilwa ii-drugs onke abantu bathengisa itika abantwana bethu esikolweni batshaya itika abantwana bethu batshaya iipilisi
xa siyibeka kancinci nje uyakhumbula kaloku uba ziinkokheli zenu ezibe zisilwa
siyayiqonda ziinkokheli zethu eziyabe zisilwa kodwa nazo siyaqonda uba bezisetyenzisiwe yiyo nangoku sisathi iselixesha uba zifuna ubuya mazibuye nguwo lo mbutho baze siqhube sibheke phambili.
Mamufuneka from the Western Cape, one of the supporters who traveled all night, of course, to be part of the Manifesto launch. And we, of course, talked to one other supporter from Free State.
Yes, Kinete Auswaka, Rona Relema Kopo, Renale mandate, or straight and simple, is to bring changes Sterling Radi Utwa but Raskera di Bona. The reason for COPE to take over is to see the changes that other parties have said about them. So Ronarle COPE Riabona Netekore, Texas has been used, but the roads are wrapped and rotten. Riabona or education has changes Hence, other people are talking and become very contradictory to their statements. They say each and every South African has the right in education. But unfortunately, the systems kicks out other children, those who don't have birth certificates after 3 months of the beginning of the schools. So we want to understand if it is the right for each and every child to be at school, the systems that kicks out this program, is this not a contradiction? So with COPE, sitimanje hare voteleng COPE. COPE are those people who've been felt the pain, who want to heal all those South Africans who got wounds in their lives.
Maranta, the truth is, it's your leaders that have fought and crippled the political party that you belong to. It's not anybody else. And perhaps it would be time now to be able to govern.
Yes, my sister. You know what? If I have to explain to our leaders, unfortunately, I want to state the president of COPE, that is Ntate Terra Lekota. All the statements that he's talking about, he doesn't mention his position, but he's always mentioning the position of the South Africans in the future and the better South Africans' life for the entire. Meaning that there is some places whereby we talk about jobs, not nepotism. Because at some stage you must have another card in order. I don't want to mention the card. Must have another card in order to be employed. The problem is, in COPE, we are not going to deploy. We are going to employ according to the qualifications that you have. So we say, Pambeli ngemfundo enhle, kuma South Africa for the best job. Pambeli.
Well, you heard it for yourself from the supporters who traveled from all around the country, from all provinces, to be here to be part of the launch of the manifesto. But I do know that Ndate Masete is in the studio. If I were to put it to you that during the 2009 general elections, COPE, in fact, won 30 seats in the National Assembly. A lot of critics are saying there is no chance that they will be able to attain that. Ndate Masete, what would be your assertion to this?
Many of us, people like Comrade Vanessa Hani, who has joined us from Ahang, who was told by many that your father will turn in his grave because you have left you know where to come here. They have refused that the legacy of their parents must be left to go to the dustbin, and they have chosen to come with the Congress of the People because this is the future of the legacy of those leaders. Would like to say to the women, look around. Kimang otompang bomme. Who
in fact, lost momentum. It lost a lot of support since the wranglings in the courts of law. But ultimately, Mbazima Shilowa left the party because we do know that he joined UDM. We're not obviously sure of the particulars of that. But when he joined the UDM, do you think it lended credence to the criticisms that he was, in fact, not fully part of COPE? Therefore, he wanted just to be a leader in any political party.
Thank you very much.
Down and all my soul's troubles come, my heart burdened me, and I am still and wait here inside.
question? Well, we're expecting Date Lekota, Muswa Lekota, the leader of the Congress of the People, to largely criticize the ANC, the ruling party, and in particular President Jacob Zuma. We are privy, of course, to the information that the party will, in their manifesto, tell the constituencies that they in fact support fully the National Development Plan. That has been criticized by a lot of sectors, in particular the economic section. I would like to know, for instance, from you, Ntate Maseti, what do you make of this?
South Africans, you deserve a better government. And your vote on the 7th of May is going to deliver that better government. Comrades, I would like to introduce to you the Deputy President of the Congress of the People, a veteran of the workers' struggle, Comrade Willie MAdisha.
Amandla! 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 Viva co viva! Viva co viva! Viva President Lekota, viva! Viva President Lekota, viva! Thank you very much, my comrades. I want to emphasize that here we see the owners of COPE. You are the owners of COPE from all over the provinces, from the entire country, and we want to thank you for having come here. But then apart from yourselves, we know that in branches, in provinces, all over the country, our people are there. The present government, comrades, has failed. It has failed. It has killed our people in a number of ways. It has returned the apartheid system, which we thought was removed, was killed during the liberation struggle of the people of our country. What it has gone on to do, it has separated the people of our country. The issue of racism has been returned. The issue of ethnicity is being returned in our country. All in all, what COPE stands for is that the proper government must come back. And that's a government which started way back in 1994 under Madiba, which has now died altogether. What we see today is, I want to emphasize, a government of people who are going on with corruption on a daily basis. Our people are hungry, whereas the few in the country are eating on a daily basis, actually stealing that which belongs to the people of our country. If you move around, you will see, and of course you say that, and you will be right to cry because the people of our country don't have any houses altogether. You are right, comrades, to cry because wherever you are, there's no water, we don't have toilets, and there is nothing. The working class, wherever you are, what do we have? We have a government which is busy killing the trade union movement. That which they are doing is exactly that which was done by the apartheid system, where the trade union movement, for example, the workers were not allowed to come together. It was only those who aligned themselves with the apartheid government that were brought together, that were allowed to go on and organize themselves. Even those who did not agree, but they were forced to come together and say that which the apartheid government said. And I want to emphasize that it is as a result of that which has been done today by some of the leaders of the ruling party that our people are dying. Some remember, very many people have died and continue to die in the mines. Our people have died in Marikana, the working people. Many more are dying. Thousands and thousands of our people, the workers, are dying every day. And you must ask yourself, who owns those particular mines? Some of these particular leaders have risen to say, yes, we are the owners there. One of the leaders, who is the deputy president of one of those particular organizations, has risen to say, because you are dying and I own this mine, will give you 2,000 rand each so that you can bury your people. Now this, comrades, I must say, is very, very painful. And what COPE therefore is saying is that we want unity. What COPE says is that apartheid system shall go. What COPE says is that the working class, the poor people will be brought together. What COPE says is that there must be unity. We must be able to move forward. And we can defeat this. We can defeat this corrupt government, this government of thieves, and those people have reason to say, yes, we are. We can defeat them by doing only one thing, not going out to kill like some of them, not going out to harass our people like some of them, but by doing only one thing. And what is that? Just a pen and a cross. On the 7th of May, next to the name COPE, and where you see the face of our great president, then we are done with them. We're not going to fight. Use your pen next to COPE. Make a cross there next to COPE, next to the face of our president, and all these problems shall be removed from our country. Apartheid system will be gone. Joblessness will be taken away. Our people will be able to eat. Our children will be able to go to school. My comrade president and everyone, and you as the owners of COPE, can rise and say, we have won. Because this is the real true time. Amanda! 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 Viva COPE, viva! Viva COPE, viva! Thank you very much.
Matata, matata, fedile. Iyo. Matata, matata, fedile. Iyo. Matata, matata, fedile. Iyo. Matata, matata, fedile. Matata, matata, fedile. Iyo. Matata, matata, fedile. Matata, matata, fedile. Iyo. Matata, matata, fedile. Yo yo. Oh, toi, fedile. Yo yo. Oh, toi, fedile. Yo yo. Matata, matata, fedile. Yo yo. Viva Congress of the People, viva! Away with corruption, away! Away with the corrupt ruling party, away! Away with the corrupt ruling party, away! Forward with Congress of the People, forward! Forward with Congress of the People, forward!
Billy, the Congress of the People, Billy! Forandu, the Congress van die mensen, forandu! Pambili in the Congress of the People, Pambili! Forward with the Congress of the People, forward! Comrades, I have been asked specially to put our humble honors on Comrade Makosa Zana Manjobe. Jale he little lim mamele lim kutwisise. Meyeno lim monam plaga. O kadile ho lwanela tukuluho. Dilimonza ni. Sabonda taruna libonda taruna muhulu. Azama libonda de. Bomruti Zadar Mahabani. Bonda de Thomas Mapigela. Bomruti Pito. Bo President Kuma, libonda te Mandela kaofela botlile le bona jwalo itse ha maburu a kwala mokgatlo a tswela ka ntle ho naha a lwana a ikalla dithuteng le banna le basadi ba bang ha kgutlile a tla kena ka hara mmuso a ba parlamenteng ya democracy ya President Mandela e ba mo president wa naha le rona he se re kgutlile sehlekehlekeng sa tokoloho. Jwale ra sebetsa le ena mmuso ra sebetsa le ena ha mmila o ntso puta aba a bona botsotsi bo bongata bokena ka hara mmuso re thiba itse ha o tejelwa ntatembeki a be a re ka hobane nthwena e se le mo re neng re sa ha ba teng ke tswa le ba tswang ke emela ka thoko ho ya ka magoro ha se o lahlana bana beso ba batlang bobodu ba tswele pele le bobodu le rona re lo aha ntho re hopolang hore tla tswela setjhaba molemo ke enwa heme Manjobe itse ha re emisa mokga ona wa lona ne re na le ena mona Bloemfontein hona mona ka di 16 December 2008 ha re emisa ke ha ile hore ke e mongwe wa boetapele ba rona o hutse le rona he le motsena tse hlano mimona ha le mona e metsena mangwele ha sa dumela hantle empa o ntse a le motjha moyeng wa hae wa ho batla hore batho ba South Africa ba be le bophelo bo botle o itse he ke re mo fena ka re kgefu ayo sebetsa a ntse a potapota le haufi le ayobane ha sa tseba ho tsamaela hole haholo basadi ba Congress of the People ba itse re ke re mo hlomphe re mo lebohe mme ba re jalo ka mohlabani ya ka pele wa monkga ke be nna ke mo apesang le ha le mmone a se a kena ape rona soka apara ba ne ba itse a tle le ntho tsena ke tlotla mo apesa jwale he ke a mo apesa mahlong a lona le be dipai mme eno he kena o thweng mmangwana o tshwara thiba ka bohaleng ene ke mo apesang yona le a e tseba ha ke re ke seana marena ke kobo ya boreneng e tshepahetse le ha pula dina le ha mahlo a kgetheha jwale re mo apesa yona hore ning kapa ning a ska ba hatsela aska baba adula asna litho. Dina he ke le hlalosetse me Manjobe re tla mo rwesa ka dibakeng ho thwe ke modianyewe le a tseba hobane motho ke modianyewe hobane ha o na le nyewe ho na le ntho e qakileng morena o ya dule khotla a irwali dipaki kaofela di tlise bopaki di bue dipaki tse di phetse di tlatse ha morena a sa utlwile hore taba ena nnete ba ena bo kae gore ha sa na le kahlolo ya seng a idupile o ye a itshware mona he ka moetlo ha bo ha itshware mona o tshore o se ankile qeto hore na nyewe ya kae ke yo he ibikira le bakale ibitswang motianyewe jale he re moresa yona hobane jalo ka e mengwe ba holo ba Congress of the People jwale ha ona le mathata di kutlwano eng re tlanne re mo kopa o ele ka tlotla mamela a thuse khotso e dule e le teng he o tlatla a irwetse a mamele ntotso le ha se a tseba o batla etsa eng a be a re ke se ke tshwere bana baka ba thule kaofela ba mamele hore na o reng go hemme modianyewe wa hao halala Manjobe halala forward with the Congress of the People forward uhule me ube ukhobe uhule o re tswele mahlono ke a lebo
amana kula kop kula kula kop kula. I am not making a speech, Makabane, but just to say thank you very much to my president for the good words that he has uttered and the advice that he's always given to us. We appreciate his leadership and we follow it without any doubt. He is our leader. And to the women, the COPE Women's Movement, I say you really gave me a big surprise. I could have fainted because I did not expect it. But thank you very, very much. It shows that the COPE Women's Movement is alive. But the women must know that there are many, many challenges that we have to face. The women out there are waiting for you to liberate them. And you have that challenge. And I am sure you will live up to it. And to everybody else, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Forward with the Congress of the People, forward. Today, we determined that is the time and the right time to come and say to you, our members and the people of South Africa across the length and breadth of our nation, what we will do if you were to entrust us with the majority votes supporting us either to lead government or to be part of government. Today is that day. Re tlile mona he ho tla le hlalosetsa hore na ha le ile la re kgetha re hopola hore re tla etsa eng ka South Africa e tla le etsa motlotlo mme e tla etsa hore ntlafatse maphelo a lona letsatsi leo he le fihlile le motsotso o fihlile I want to start off by saying that we have examined our situation and we are satisfied that South Africa deserves a better government and that that government can only be delivered by the majority of the votes of you, the people of South Africa. But you see, we are not going to tell you some pleasant, entertaining stories, something that will make you feel great. We're not going to tell you fiction. We're going to talk to you about the hard realities of our country and our lives. There is no such thing as a life of Christmas presents every day. It exists nowhere. So we must start by telling you the truth about our country, because we are the men and women of the truth. We must tell you that as we stand here today, our country has no money. We have no money as a nation. Every year, we borrow money now from other nations in order to do some of the few things we are able to do to you, because we have no money. So we can't promise you presents, because there is no money in the national fiscus to buy you presents and give you presents. And the reason we do not have this money is because after the government of President Mandela and President Mbeki in 10 years, we had paid all the debts that our nation owed. And we are really on the clear. I say that without fear of contradiction. How nali mutiareng utseba ufita bidru fita mo age ahlele abuwe re utlwe hore na utseba eng ye o sa itsebeng. Satsing len ha ke bua le lona ntate Mbeki o la tsama a sile re se re sena sekolo, empa ha ke bua le lona ka jeno re kene ka hara tibitibi ya sekoloto 1 trillion rands and more. I say to you, we can't promise you presents, because if we want to give you presents, we must go into government and find that there is money there to buy you presents of houses or this or the other, but it's not there. That's the cold truth. Cold and brutal truth is that that is the situation. But we say to you, if you entrust us with government, we are going to confront that situation in which there is nothing for the people and for the country. And we are going to work systematically to find money, first of all, inside this country. And working with the tax you pay, we will follow the example of the past. We will work to reduce as fast as is humanly possible the debt this country owes. So instead of promising you presents, we invite you not only to elect us to lead government, but to become part of the journey of working and getting rid of this debt, which has been created over only 5 years. We owe R1 trillion. And that money has come as a result of the weaknesses of those in the last election you entrusted with government. So what are we going to do? We are going to ensure that, firstly, you have a government that is much smaller in size than what you have at the present time. Today you have ministers and deputy ministers, 65. 65, which means when President Mandela and President Mbeki had a much smaller number of ministers and deputy ministers, this administration increased it to that size. More of your money pays. It pays these ministers and deputy ministers instead of being used for you. We want to reduce that size of government, and money that was paying them must begin to be diverted to do for you, the people. Kitse musong wa Ntate Mandela le Ntate Mbeki, matona a mmuso a na le mmalwana empa a etsa mosebetsi kaofela. Le ba tlatsang matona ao ba ne ba le mmalwana, and tjhelete e neng e sebediswa ho patala bana ba sebeletsang mmuso e ne e le nyane. Kajeno ke ntho e ngata fela e leng hore pele le etsetswa dintho e patalwa batho bana ba tsamayang ka ditae le dikoloi le ntho tsena kaofela le sa etsetswa letho ka yona. Ntho ya bobedi, di administration batho ba sebeletsang mmuso ho entse department tse ngata hore ho kenywe metswalle le bo motswala le batjhana mmusong ba amohele. The public administration has been expanded. The Minister of Finance, Pravin Gordhan, says it is bloated. Kuri, in onne ho ilegetlang mafura kae kapa kae. Rona re lo e fokotsa hore re lokolle tjhelete e nngwe mo e sebeletse setjhaba. Batho bana ba tsamaye ba batla mesebetsi ba sebetse mo e leng hore ba tla thusana, e seng hore ba tla dula ba ja mafureng a nama e patalwang ke bafutsa. Ha ke le tshepisi dintho tse monate tse bonolo, ke le tshepisa leeto le tla batla banna le basadi ba ikemiseditseng ho sebeletsa bana ba bona, mme jwalo ka ha Modimo ana bua mantswe a re o so tla phela ka mofufutso wa phatlha ya hao. E mong le e mong ha a sebetse, e mong le e mong a phela ka mofufutso wa phatlha ya hae. So the Congress of the People promise you hard work. We will not create positions to get these comrades employed in government. No. Only those who are necessary to work, only those numbers that are absolutely necessary will be employed. But the others who are just there hanging around must go and look for jobs elsewhere. We will cut it down. So because we don't have money, you see, every year our country goes and borrows money because we have less money than we need. So how can we have money to give you free biscuits, to give you free food parcels, and this thing and that? They go and borrow money, and they give you money which is actually money of other nations because they have finished the money in store. That's why eat all. That's tjhelete ka dingwe matjhabeng a mang mo e leng hore tjhelete ya rona yona e felletse matsohong a bona mona ha ba tsebe lo hlalosa hore na ba entse eng ka yona. I say to you on behalf of our party, we will make sure that every amount of money you pay is first and foremost aimed at you, the people, the poor people, to make life possible and better for you. You must know that we have this huge debt that is growing every day because the money we borrow has got to be to pay interest, and that interest is growing every day. It's not stopping. How can you know? When I say we owe R1 trillion, I mean that you and I, all of us South Africans are indebted. But more, our children are indebted. And even more, our great-grandchildren, our children's children are also indebted. It's a huge debt. Hore haebe rona re tla shwa re patala sekoloto sena se ba se entseng lemong tsena tse hlano. Ebe bana ba rona ba tlo patala sekoloto seo le bona. E re le pele ba qeta ba hlokahale bana ba bona le bona ba tlo tswela pele ho patala sekoloto seo. Ke batla le utlwisisa hore na banna bana ba re kentse ka hara tibitibi e jwang ya tshotleho. So that is the challenge. That is the journey that we want to travel with you. To begin now, first of all, we must take government.
Yes.
And we must immediately stop this misuse of the resources of our people. Secondly, we must begin to change the direction of things. Instead of increasing our national debt, we must work to reduce it every year. And that means you and I, all of us, must work and deny ourselves the pleasures of life. Are you prepared to solve the problems of your country? If you are prepared, please come with us, the Congress of the People. Come with us. Because when they threatened us with blue lights and the Mercedes-Benzes, we said to them, thank you, keep them. Keep the blue lights, keep the Mercedes-Benzes. We want to be on the side of the people. And the majority of the people of South Africa are poor. They have no education. They have no houses. We don't want your blue lights. We don't want your Mercedes-Benz unless they are instrument to solve and uplift the conditions of our life. That if you choose to come with us, you're going to come with men and women who are prepared to give of themselves so that the masses of the people of our country can begin to see transformation of their lives and to achieve what the late President Mandela called a better life for all. There are many who use those words. They do nothing to achieve it. So, the situation of poverty in our country has reached a point which I find shameful. How our government, the present government, boasts every year about how many of the people of our country live from handouts, live from grants. What they call grants are handouts. They don't find it shameful that the majority of so many of the people of our country are humiliated by living from handouts. They are no different from people who stand at the traffic light, the robots, asking for handouts every month. They're very proud about it. They quote these grants like an achievement. Look, we are giving people grants, millions of them, so many of them, because they have nothing to live with. Have they not failed to run the affairs of our nation as President Mbeki did, as President Mandela did? We would not be there. But they have, because over the last 5 years they have lost 103 billion rand of the money that you pay in tax. They can't account for it. And we want to say to you, let us take over government, vote for us. We will go and look, where did this money go to? I asked them the other day in Parliament, what did you do with the 20 billion of 2010? What did you do with the 25 billion of 2011? And what did you do with the 30 billion of 2013? Where is our money? Before we say, "Ifuna imali." How auditor general a re bolelela gore tšhelete kana e feleletse matsogong a lona e kae ba ile ba araba di-ministera tsa latelelana di araba ke ba bua di tsie badimo fela ga o na e arabang potso ene ke reng tšhelete ya rona e kae ga ba qetile mopresidente le ena a ema mona ba bua ntho tsotlhe tse yang kwana le kwana and then ha arabe potso ya ka jalo ka tlhogo ya mmuso tšhelete ya rona e kae tšhelete ya rona e kae ke re le re tshepe ke rona bana ma Congress of the People re tsamaye ke ro sheba rona tšhelete ya rona e ba ineng ba inkanta deterrence Nombembe a hlalosa gore it was so many billions e kae gobane a tšhelete eno e ne le teng ga ne ba sa e senya e ka be le gore ka jeno lena bana ba di-university ba batlang tšhelete ya dithuto e ka be le gore no ba fumane tšhelete eno e patela dithuto tsa bona mahala ga ba ne ba sa ja 20 billion ya 2010 e ka be le gore bana bano kao fela re ba kenya sekolong mahala o tloa ga a qala ba yo tswa university mara e le mosela a dirang 25 billion ga bana ba sa ka ba e senya ba etsa ntho ene e re sa tseng gore ba entse eng ka yone e ka be le gore ga re bua tjena bontate bana boraditaxi bana re ba fa subsidy lona bommanna le bontate a lona ba sebetsang ga ba ya mosebetsing tšhelete ba e patalang ya taxi e be e ba nyane mme megolo ya bona e ye ko gae e yo reka dijo le diaparo le ntho tse jwalo ka jano lena ka gobane tšhelete eo ile boraditaxi ba South Africa ga ba fumane subsidy ga petrolo e nyoloa ba tšhatša bommalona le bontate a lona taxi fare tse godimo ga ba fitlhe gae tšhelete o setse dirantanyana tse mmalwana ga o na ntho e jewang gae e le wa tla jwalo he e ya go lona e tla ka tsela e tšena ga ba ne ba sa senya tšhelete eo ba bapala ka yone e ka be le gore tsela tsane tse gauteng tse di ke di-etolo tse ntse re di patala di ka be di sa aua ka tšhelete ya baditšhaba di ka be di aua ka tšhelete ya lona e le gore ga re bua tšena le palama mahala ke botšhala fela koloi di nyolosa di theosa re ya kerekeng re ya mafung re ya manyalong re sa lefe letho ka jeno ga o re ya lenyalong o tshwanetse o patala ga o re phupung o tshwanetse o patala ga o ya kerekeng o tshwanetse o patala ke ka baka la gobane tšhelete tsena tse ngata tsa lona tseno 25 billion ya 2011 e jo e feleletse moyeng ke bua le lona e seng ditshomo ke bua taba tse bueng ke ntate Terence Nombembe a reporta go bona gore banna le bomme le bontate ga le a tlhalosa tšhelete ena ga e hlae rona le entseng ka yone ga ba ne seka ba senya ga kana-kana ka tšhelete ena ya lona e ka be re ntse le dutse le na le tšhelete kana ka 30 billion rand eo le neng le ka etsa eng kapa eng e le ratang go e etsa empa go jwang ka jeno melomo e meputso magapo ka mona ka dimpeng ka mona mala a bokolla le lapile ke a le kopa he e ke le re rumeng rona makese e ke le rumeng rona dintlha tsa lona re ke re o fofonela rona tšhelete tsa lona di ile kae re ke re o fofonela dukonu nkga kae gobane lefutha lona le tla tlhago go teng mo le tla tlhate e tse basotho ba bua ba o tlolola ga ba re no molato ga o boo ga ke soka ke bua ka tsena tse ding tse lona le di tsebang ke kutlwe batho ba ntse ba bua ka bonkantle jele ga ke be ke bue ka ntho eno ke batla tsena tse kgolo ke e nyane eno ke tšhelete e nyane eno ya ba bua ka yone gona jele tsena ba futuetse mohlankana ke no thwe ke malema ba mmatla 16 million rand e ba reng o kolota taxi ka yone ka o tseba ga kaene ke mo tsebile ke ngwana monyane malema ga so ka sebeletsa mang kapa mang ga sele a sebeletsa African National Congress ba ne ba mo lefa bokae ga tla qetelela a kolota tax ya 16 million ga so ka sebeletsa balo ga so ka sebeletsa spa ga so ka sebeletsa Pick n Pay ke bona fela ba neng ba sebeletsa gore a tlo kolota 16 million ba ne ba mo lefa bokae how much were they paying him You see, they tell us he owed that money, but they don't tell us what was his source of income. Where did he get such amounts of money to owe that amount? Runa makesi. Le rume mapapu. Le rume mifuta dinta tse fapa ni jole ka le bona je. Re ke ro fofonela re mara hantle. Look, I am willing to tell you. We are determined to correct the situation, and we have a plan of action. So I've already told you how we will reduce the size of the state. I want to tell you some more. To the workers of our country, there is MAdisha. Mutipa MAdisha. Moshangalwana arino. Hutswa di tšhelete tsa basebetsi ka mekotlana e metsho. Le ne le teng la u. Re utlwile kwana tse ka taba hore tšhelete tsa lona di a jowa bosiu di jellwa ka mekotlaneng e metsho. We want the workers of our country. They must be protected. We want the workers of our country not to be tied to the apron strings of any political party. The struggle of the workers must be led by the workers for the workers. The liberation struggle. In the years we struggled for freedom, it was important that all classes of society must join and work together because all of us wanted one thing for all of us, the right to vote. As long as that was a common objective, there was no choice but that we had to unite. Now we have got the franchise. Now we've got the franchise. History has long records of struggles going back to the French Revolution and so on. When the objective of the liberation movement has been reached, different classes pursue their own class interests. That's why some of the people who are in the leadership of the liberation organization of yesteryear are both owners of landmen, and then they pretend to lead the workers as well. They are part of meetings that take decisions. How and what to do to the workers when the workers ask for better wages. It doesn't therefore surprise us that the workers then will be shot and killed like as if it was Sharpeville. Because the interests of a burgeoning bourgeoisie require this kind of reaction to shock the workers into fearing to ask for their rights. Amen. And that's what differentiated us. Those whose objective today, after liberation, whose objective is to enrich themselves, the rising black and middle-class bourgeoisie, it looks after its own interests. And the interests of the workers can be used now and then to advance those interests. But that's it. We must now confront the situation. We want to say, we want a country in which the economy is growing every day, in which both workers and employers, owners of capital and the working class, have a role in ensuring that the economy grows. But even as it grows, there must be proportionate benefits for both sides. It cannot be that the economy can grow and only one side benefit. We will encourage a frank and vibrant dialogue between these different classes of society to discuss these issues, but to act, all sides must act as patriots. And I make a call this afternoon on behalf of the Congress of the People to South Africa's business, whether as farmers, as manufacturers, as owners of mines and so on. Let us act as patriots. Let us not forsake our country and run away with our capital. Let us settle down to a frank, open and vibrant discussion and make sure that both sides act patriotically. Even as you invest, let's find government arrangements. Let's find participation in the economy that keeps such a balance as that the workers who are employed and unionized must understand that they have got a duty, not just to themselves. The workers who are unionized have a duty to ensure that their working conditions are good for them. But one of the conditions that they must keep in mind is that they must also make sure that the numbers of the unemployed does not explode, because that threatens them. Many of us come from working class families. If some are employed and others are not employed, the wages you earn must cover your needs in the home and cover your extended family. But if all of us have some work to do, then we don't become burdened on each other. And the wages we earn benefit all, and therefore the entire community rises out of this poverty in which they find themselves. So we commit to this. We commit to this now, not after we commit now, so that we can be judged against what we will do if you were to support and put us there. I understand now that there are those who say that they are going to give money to business people so that the business people must employ the young people. This is a very good concept, an idea. It's a good idea. But is it doable? Can you really do it? Where is the money to do it? Because there's no money in the fiscus. Where is the money to do that? And this thing is not new. That thing how can I say get out of the factory, Muso apartheid over chelet. How Tama we are Bronco spread, Pamsanga. Kitani, if I DM. How see a Eastern Cape? Pao Dimbazan, Naguezanda. Amaburu, I look like Kupi Malenjangale. Ah, Pilama Fedra, Aquapaya. Obanyaba Sebenzapa, Akna Topaya. Because it's not a sustainable solution to the problem of unemployment. You can't solve the problem of unemployment by giving out handouts. It can't happen. It has failed in this country before. What magic does the present ruling party have to make that apartheid scheme work? Go to Kwaga. Alifita Bogoma DM the buildings there. How na misebeti mo? Hahuna tsila yoga ahang muso musebeti. Kauruta fa chelete we fe barui. We fe bot amatlo to chelete. Uri bata hir. Ba inga babalu le fe me khaude. Babari arta ba hir hagru ba fa mahal. Haina sebet Anton kinto eshwile. Kitsumo. Dwale hualwana. And then hey no chelete tanzirife. Ikai chelete to start with. He was so too. Hagi was one. He was a look season. Nini Vegabushe. Epi Imali Ea Fagwapa Edimbaza. Bustiwa Abantu Mabasuso Ematolopeni. bayohlala edimbaza imisebenzi yobakho amabhulu amane ayifaka imali phaya phela mafekire bebethi bayawakha phaya afi because akuyona indlela yokwakha umnotho wezwe awuzawakha umnotho wezwe akha isimo ezweni abantu abenza amabhizinisi bakwazi ukwenza amabhizinisi baqashe abantu bakhokele baphathele abantu ngemali zabo hayi ukuthi uthatha imali ye-tax uyoyinika utshomi bakho iskimu esinye sokweba imali yabantu lesi gonna steal the people's money. They will not arise. Never ever. You can go and study capitalism. Study it in any country. Nowhere ever has been growth, reliable and sustainable growth, happen on the basis of what you give out as handouts. That's just to hoodwink your eyes for the time being and to create a scheme out of which you can benefit. Naya Boruna has reached a deficit not only on the side of money. We have not only lost when it comes to money, we have lost even when it comes to human goodwill in South Africa. It was Nelson Mandela who united our people when he came from Robben Island. Today, what do you hear? You are told that thina abantu bamnyama sikhalela izwe lethu elathathwa ngabamhlophe sisesebumnyameni iculwa unhloko ezwe uthi abamnyama ubakhomba ukuthi bajonge aba abamhlophe abamnyama bajonge aba abamhlophe njengochaba lwabo lapho uMandela wathi masibuyelaneni bantu base South Africa masibuyelaneni bantu base South Africa sijonge ingxaki esinazo sizidibanele ngengqondo zethu siyakhe ikusasa elisha. They are trampling underfoot that legacy of Nelson Mandela. We of the Congress of the People are saying we are the custodians and we will work with everybody that is the custodian of that legacy of Nelson Mandela. The people of our country must continue to be united. Every day we must remind each other that ours is a common future, that where black will die, a white will die there. And where a white person, citizen will die, there a black citizen will die. Nevertheless, we must find answers. We must find answers to the problems our country is faced with. They are all set out in the Constitution. The property clause of this country guarantees every section of the population the right to own land. But the property clause has also made it possible with subsequent legislation and so on, that where rightful land was taken by government, government must buy that land from whoever owns it today. And then, having properly compensated those people, give it to those who legitimately were entitled to it. But the day we open a wholesale right of one tribe, of one nation, of one section, to take from the other, then that will be the end of democracy and of this country. Because people will kill each other. Because South Africa will become a divided nation again. Why? Because they are turning their backs on the constitution of that Nelson Mandela and other leaders gave to our people. We say a better future can only be built out of the unity of the people of our country. So the Congress of the People is determined to keep every day reminding all of you, you are citizens of this country, one and all. Your rights are equal, and you must strive to keep that. But all of us have a collective duty to run a government that will always use every year the tax returns of all the citizens to uplift those sections of the population which have been left behind. And the secret is one. It's education and training. Education and training. Quality education and training. If we don't educate and train our children, even if you give them R1 million, 3 months, 6 months down the line, it will be gone because they don't know how to do it. There are many people who win jackpots here. If you don't know how to work for money, if you are not trained to earn your own money, you will not be able to look after money. I say it again, and I say it from experience. If you don't know how to work for money, you cannot look after money. We must enable our citizens. We must educate and teach. Yes. For I tell you, this issue of the land is one of the most dangerous issues. Yeah. It is the one that those who want us not to confront the real problems, they divert our attention. No, you are poor because your neighbor has got money. So you hate your neighbor because you think your neighbor has stolen your money. How many people are there in our country who came from other countries, from India, from China, from Malay Peninsula and others who came here and worked themselves, who came from other African countries, and today they have been able to buy and own land. It's not about the gifts. It's not about the presents. It's what you can do for yourselves. And we want to enable the young people of our country, enable them to be able to earn themselves, develop their talent, because none of them is not talented. Develop their talents, and they can use them here or elsewhere around the world. Our country has human resource elements that are capable of transforming it and transforming themselves to make this country a great, united, non-racial, non-sexist nation. I speak to you, my dear comrades, as one of the men and women of the truth. I have no presents to offer you. I offer you hard work. Let's go to work. Let's go back to KZN. Let's talk to our people about the realities of their life there. Let's go up to Limpopo. Let's walk in the Waterberg Mountains and talk to the people about how we can do it ourselves. Because the opportunity is there. But what we need is a government capable of leading us in the right direction. Let's cross the Caledon to the Western Cape. Let's talk to our people on the winelands of the Western Cape. Let's talk to them along the Sundays River, in and out the valleys, up and down the Hottentots, Holland Mountains, and say to our people, the future is now with us because we have our freedom, because we have equal rights. Let's be creative. Let's unite. Let's focus on how to make ourselves a better people. Let's go back to the Northwest. Let's talk the language of Botswana. Let's explain to them. It's not a miracle. It's not a mystery. It's not about beautiful, meaningless promises. It's about hard work. It's about educating, training. It's about saving the resources we build. It's about resisting the temptation of corruption. Because the biggest loss of the resources of this country is as a result of men and women in the private sector and in the government collaborating to steal our money. That's how Malema could have so much money, not being in government. It was not Malema who stole the money. It was the ones who were controlling government that stole money and passed it to him. And it was recorded in his name. And that's why he can now be accused of owning 16 million rand in tax. He's a young, innocent person who didn't know.
Coming to you live from the Bloemfontein Showgrounds, Date Musiwa Likota is still addressing thousands of COPE supporters who have converged here from early this morning. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. We're going to have to leave it at this for now. You must remember that this is, of course, the last political party to launch their manifesto before the May 7th national general elections. That's it from us. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's take it to Elvis in the studio in Johannesburg.
Thank you, Yolisa. Zamakaya Maseti, political analyst, is still with us in studio. Your overall impressions of the speech by Terry Lakota, the COPE leader?
Well, there are indeed some shocking figures there about 1 trillion debt that we owe. And according to the Minister of Finance, of course, our debt as the percentage of the GDP is growing from 23%, and he projects that by 2016-17 that would be around 43%. So there is something that we have to do about the management of the economy there. But those figures, as they were presented by Terry Lakota, I must be honest, they are shocking. And the fact that we have an unaccounted 100 billion, I was hoping that he will give us more details. But those figures, I think they are shocking.
So, Makaya, thank you so much for joining us in studio. And as you can see, that is where we got to leave it here from AM News here on Channel 404. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye for now.
Capitec Bank is asking why to simplify banking. Do you know what your bank costs are?
I don't know, but I know it's too much.
65 rand?
Between 200 and 250?
I don't, but I know it's too much. It's too much, yeah.
Why don't you switch banks?
Switch?
Yeah, way too much of a hassle, my man.
We help 100,000 people open accounts at Capitec Bank every month. If you haven't joined us yet, ask why.
In meetings in your provinces and your towns and cities, we will talk to you, we will explain what needs to be done. As you live here, you must remember that your neighbors who are supporting and who have been voting for this government are also victims of the weaknesses and the corruption that is happening. Don't treat them as your enemies. Treat them as your brothers and sisters. Persuade them. Win them over. Let them come over and join with us. Tell them when the food parcels come, they must take them and eat them because it is their money. But when they vote, let them vote for a government that will present them with a better government and a better future. I have made our call to you. I know that although you have no opportunity to say now, your actions will speak volumes. Forward with the Congress of the People, forward. Forward to a united South Africa, forward. Forward to a prosperous South Africa, forward. Forward with a drive for a better future, working together, Congress of the People and the people of South Africa, forward. I thank you.
Utera lo, abamazi lo, abazange bambo. Comrades, let us join together on that one. Utera lo, abamazi lo, abazange bambo, abazange bambo, abazange bambo. Abazange bambo.
Terra, terra wetu, terra, terra we, terra, terra we, terra, terra we, terra, terra we, terra we. not disperse. There is food.
Comrades! Hey, comrades! Viva Coke, viva! Viva Coke, viva! My comrades, Skanan Samaya Asabli Una Lili Jomona Lili Bende Ditlo Binamona Skanan Samaya